Okay guys, I'm going to give you a full disclaimer here. I'm not really very much of a Weezer fan. I think they have two really good albums, maybe one that verges on greatness. Blue is so close to being a great album. Blue is within a hair's breadth of being a great album, but it's just not really in my eyes. And then Pinkerton is very good. But I'm not really a Weezer fan. I don't follow them past those two albums. I have no interest in getting anything beyond those two albums because I have not liked anything that I've heard, and I'm doing this video primarily for two reasons. One of them is that I have a good friend who is bizarrely a massive fan of this band. I don't understand it, but you do you, guy. That's wonderful. And the other reason is cheap views. So this is what I think about this new Weezer album, Pacific Daydream. I think this is quite possibly the worst album I've heard this entire year. Now, for context, I want to say I've only heard 3 albums from this year, and they've all been very good. But this is definitely the weakest of what I've heard. This is just mediocre. And this is coming from me. And I find most of Weezer mediocre. I don't understand the appeal. If you like it, that's great. But something about the sound is just deeply, deeply unappealing to me. Like, there are songs where I get the appeal, like Buddy Holly, great example. The World Has Went and Left Me Here, I think is the name of the song on Blue. Across the Sea. Most of the songs I like are on Blue. I like the long song that ends Blue. But, like I said, I'm not even really in love with old good Weezer. But this, I used to call these videos first impressions. And this one really is a first impression because I just finished listening to this album. And I just don't know what to say here because this is bland. Like it is so bland that I have almost nothing to say about it. This is bland, but it's not Weezer bland. It's Weezer doing bland, boring 2010s pop. And there's you want to know how boring this album is. The one song on here, what is the name of that song? Something Summer. I can't even remember the song titles. Something Heart of Summer, I think it is. That when it came out, I remember hearing it, and I wish I'd done a reaction video because I was like, this sounds like Weezer doing like Katy Perry or Imagine Dragons or any of the hot contemporary pop artists. That song is actually one of the best and most interesting songs on the album, and that speaks volumes. Beach Boys is boring. Mexican Fender is also boring. I really liked Weekend Woman, actually. I did talk with my one friend who likes Weezer a little bit before I did this video. He likes that song too. Weekend Woman is good. I liked La Mancha Screwball, I think it was. But honestly, outside of that, I am at a loss here. It doesn't even sound like Weezer have sounded. It just sounds, it doesn't sound like the Green Album or the Death to False Metal or any of their more questionable 2000s albums. It just sounds like Weezer doing bad 2010s pop. And when I say 2010s pop, I mean like I could go to a mainstream pop artist and hear better examples of this. I could go to a mainstream pop artist and I could hear stuff like this that at least I'm going to remember it. This stuff went straight in one ear and right out the other. And it didn't help that I just finished list. I bought some other albums today. I didn't buy this Weezer album. I have no intention of doing that. I bought 2 albums that I liked significantly better today. Because I bought Different Class from Pulp, which is of course a classic, and I bought Francis the Mute from the Mars Volta, and the entire time I was listening to the Weezer album, I wanted to put Pulp and the Mars Volta on instead of Weezer. And that's just kind of symptomatic of this album as a whole. I'm probably going to get flamed in the comments sections, but then again, I don't know how Weezer's fan base is. You know, I know they have a fan base that I don't understand how they have a fan base, but I don't know. For me, Weezer are like, they're like a Twinkie, or like not even a Twinkie, because a Twinkie is something that elicits strong opinions. Whereas Weezer are just there. But what I was going to say with the Twinkie is that Weezer are that thing where like one song or even one album, for me it's more like one song, but a song or an album is okay, it's good, you know, you like it, it's acceptable to you. But when you have more than one, it's just, it's cloying and it's sickening and it doesn't hold up over time. It's like how you always buy too many of like if you buy a whole bag of candy and you eat the whole thing at once, it's like how that you get sick and you don't like whatever it was you ate too much of as a result. Weezer are sort of like that, I guess. Basically what I'm trying to say here is just to go back to what I said, is I like 2 albums of theirs. I don't really like anything else they've ever done. All in all, I guess I sort of knew what this was going in, because they did say this was going to be something different from what they were doing. I don't remember them saying that this was going to be as mainstream pop as it wound up being, because this was very, very mainstream pop. The only thing that's used in pop music today heavily besides rap that I didn't hear is I didn't hear any of the whoa, oh, oh, oh that is in every single pop song of the last like 7 to 10 years. They didn't do that. That's a good thing. But that's about all I can say to that. Numerically, I rate this a 3 or a 4 out of 10. I do not recommend it. If you're a Weezer fan, you're going to check it out. You're going to buy it anyway. I know my friend's going to buy it. He was telling me he's in a different time zone, whatever. If you like this band and you like this album, good on you. I don't understand it, but I'm not going to judge you, and the more power to you.